On the risk of being overshadowed by a more outrageous sideshow. In the dark blue corner, Giovanni Di Stefano wants to revolutionise Scottish football. He's signed Burley and Ravanelli and says he wants to sign superstar Edgar Davids. But that pales alongside Perugia, who've signed Colonel Gaddafi's son, want to put a woman in their team, and they sacked the Korean who knocked Italy out of last summer's World Cup. That's the warm-up. Now the real thing. Yes, all that time ago, a 29-year absence from European football for Dundee. You have to go all the way back to season 74-75. It was the Uefa Cup then, and Dundee lost in the first round to RWD Molenbeek of Belgium. The match we saw at the top of the programme was, of course, against AC Milan from 1971. There are slightly more recent memories, but not much. Jockey Scotland John Duncan scored against Molenbeek as Dundee went out in their last European campaign. Those were the days of Tommy Gemmell and Bobby Ford, some of the great names in Dundee's football history. Dundee badly want to update those European heroics of old. Can they do it against Perugia from Serie A? And if you wonder how good are Perugia, well, you only have to go back to Sunday. 1-1 against the European champions, AC Milan. These are the teams. Dundee, 3 changes from the side which beat Aberdeen here on Saturday. Skipper Barry Smith returns in place of Gary Brady. Last season's top scorer Steve Lovell is in for the suspended Fabian Caballero. That suspension going back 2 years to the Intertoto Cup. And Jim Duffy thought long and hard before giving Jone Hernandez the benefit of the doubt at left back over former Rangers defender Tom Cowan.
It's the normal attacking lineup from Dundee tonight, with 3 up front. But don't be surprised though if Juan Sara drops into the midfield area as much as anything else to try and confuse the Italians. And while the 3 up front have got a responsibility to score at least 1 goal, it's every bit as vital. At the back 4, Julian Speroni, Marshall Lee Wilkie, try and concentrate and don't allow Perugia any vital away goals.
9 of these Perugia 11 started last Sunday's 1-1 draw with Milan. Fabio Gatti takes over the holding role in midfield from teenage Nigerian Christian Obodo. Suspended English striker Jay Bothroyd, ex of Arsenal and Coventry, is replaced by Massimo Margiotta. 2 of their better-known players are Brazilian wing-back Zé Maria and Greek international striker Zizis Vrizas.
The Perugia team don't really have the big names of Italian football, but they will be a decent team. I was speaking to Jim Duffy a couple of years ago, and he was saying that he feels Perugia will play a 3-5-2 system. But look for Fabio Gatti, number 44, playing just in front of the back 3 to try and protect him. And Massimo Margiotta dropping from deep from the striker's position when they don't have the ball to try to shore up that midfield area. Another one to look forward to as well is number 4, Giovanni Tedesco, who apparently is the Perugia version of ex-stranger Bruno Gattuso.
Jim Duffy relishing this moment and hoping his team do the same. It's a big test for them. It's also a great opportunity to show what they can do. Referee Zelko Sinic, a Croatian. Well, it's been a long time for Dundee, as I said, in European football terms. And when you think about it, only 2 of the starting lineup for Dundee were born when the Dens team were last in European competition. Dundee against Perugia, underway. Aberdeen, Hearts, Hibs, Livingston, Kilmarnock, St Johnstone, all recent failures in the Uefa Cup. Failures in terms of failing to get through the first round of this competition. Can Dundee do any better? Vrizas, Zé Maria. Great ball in, and an early test, an immediate test of Lee Wilkie at the heart of the Dundee defence.
good play from Perugia down this right hand side. That's a marvellous ball in between the goalkeeper and the defenders, and Lee Wilkie does very well there.
6 inside the area for Zimaria's corner kick. He was always stretching, was Giovanni Tedesco, the skipper. But immediately from the Serie A team, real quality about the delivery into the box. Dundee tried to mount their first attack with top scorer Nacho Novo on the ball. Juan Sara tried to get on the end of it. Diamantene working it clear. This time the long ball is too long. From the Mali Youth International, Suleiman Diamantene, just 20 at the back for Perugia. On from Gavin Ray. Steve Lovell tries to hold it up. Grosso plays it infield, and Zemaria wants possession again. He'll get up and down that right side all night long. Played into the feet of the Greek international Brisas. Fernandez in the way, but Perugia still in possession. Early ball from Fabio Gatti, given away. Straight to Dave Mackay. Newey was the defender to cut out the long ball. Won by Namzadze. Gavin Ray alongside. That's for Novo. And the middleman in the back three is Di Loreto. Wilkie. Dundee still to get the ball down in the midfield and make passes. That's well won by Hernandez, but the bulk of the possession is with Perugia.
It's a free kick there, Rob. I think the early part of the game, it's important that Dundee hold on to the ball, Rob, just as you said. It's a tackle from the back here, Lee Mayer. Very soft, the Italian striker, Marjotas went down very easily, but the referee's always going to award that. As I was saying, Rob, it's important Dundee get the ball down and keep possession, make a few passes. Don't rush things too much early on.
Zimaria's free kick. Well, he's not shy, is he? From not far inside the Dundee half.
Very ambitious to say the least. This must be almost 50 yards out. It's never going to trouble the goalkeeper from there. Zimmaria started the game well, Rob. Seems to have lots of space down this right hand side, and it's something that I'm sure Jim Duffy's aware of already.
He hasn't missed a match for Perugia in over 2 years. Zimmaria. Novo against Di Loreto. Settles for the throw. 7 goals in 8 games, Nacho Novo. It's been a very sprightly start to the season for the Dundee striker. Kuzani under pressure from Gavin Ray. And it's gone behind for the goal kick. Dundee making a lot of headlines in the last week or two with big name signings, but ineligible for this one. Fabrizio Ravanelli and Craig Burley watching from the stand when they'd like to be much more directly involved. A hint of handball from Jota. Di Loreto with a long ball beyond the Brisas. Lee Wilkie makes sure it finds its way back to Julian Speroni. Wilkie and Mayer have been permanent fixtures since the start of the season at the heart of the Dundee defence. In the absence, of course, of Kizanishvili. Not so good this time from Zemaria after his early ball into the box in the opening minute, which was indeed a test. Poor pass from Nemzadze. Gatti to Vrisas. Good recovery for Dundee. Ray helps out Nemzadze. There's a word in his ear.
Sorry, Rob, that's better from Nemzadze. Once Sarah's was saying, he's dropped him off the front there, just that little bit, and when Nemzadze gets on the ball, it's important to find him.
Marco Di Loreto. Zemaria. Not quite. And not quite for Ravanelli and Burley, who were signed in the last couple of weeks but ineligible for this round of the competition, and both will hope that Dundee can get through, and they might well be involved from here on. And it's a real test of Dundee, isn't it, because any team in Serie A is top quality, especially if you've drawn with AC Milan at the weekend.
Well, that's a great reference, isn't it? The manager could pick up a point against AC Milan. But it's great for Jim Duffy and Dundee, Rob, just simply to be at this level of football. They've had a marvellous time since Jim Duffy come back to the club. Nacho Noble was in there. Very good, very quick, and the ball's played over the top.
Good from Nemzadze. Lovely feet. Onside, Steve Lovell. Why did he turn back the way, I wonder? Great opportunity for Dundee. Not sure Steve Lovell realised he had a clear sighting of goal there. Played in by wonderful skills from Georgi Nemzadze. And that will give Dundee encouragement, but it will also give them some frustration. This was a chance.
It's a half chance, Rob. I think Lovell must think there's a defender beside of Novell's maybe just offside, but not interfering with play there. But if Steve Lovell lets that ball run through his body, there was a chance for a shot and goal.
Scored 14 times last season, Steve Lovell, and scored Dundee's first European goal in 29 years against Vlasnia in the qualifying round, which led to this first round proper. Chick is the voice of the technical area, listening to what Jim Duffy has to say, and also listening to what Perugia have to say. That should be interesting.
So let me tell you what Jim Duffy's saying there. I have to say that his early thoughts are directed at Juan Sara, who's sitting in this role just off the front two of Novo and Lovell, just drifting a little bit too forward, 2 foot deep at times, and most of Jim's instructions are to Juan Sara, just in the role he's playing in there, just sitting off the front two in the hole between the midfield and the two strikers.
No way past for Dave Mackay, but his persistence almost wins it back. But still he's going, Dave Mackay. That's good play. Vrisas though for Perugia. Dundee defended well. Nemzadze and Hernandez got it clear. Juan Sara. Nacho Novo took his eye off it, but he was quick enough to keep it in. That's through for Gavin Ray. Kalach makes the save. Dundee beginning to get about their business.
Great play from Nacho Novo. Gavin Ray makes a great run from the middle of the park. Lovell certainly offside, but Ray onside. And just a half a yard too slow in getting there. But Gavin Ray does that so well.
Gavin Ray would say the pass was half a yard too quick in his own defence, maybe. Grosso's pass and offside.
And that's a couple of half chances for Dundee, Rob. I think it's important that the Perugia are not allowed to settle in the ball. Whenever the back three especially get the ball, Dundee have got 3 front players. Let's try and put them under pressure. We've got them allow them to play passes.
Long ball from Hernandez. And it's Dundee at their best when they get the ball down and play passes and use the pace of their front three. Zemaria had to hurry under pressure from Hernandez, but he still found Vrisas. Laid off for Tedesco. Fusani. Missed by everyone, and Brisas was surprised when it reached him just outside the 6-yard box.
That was a real chance, Rob. Brisas just not concentrating at all there. Luckily for Dundee.
Alioui, the young French defender signed from Lyon. Brisas, a man likely to tuck away chances, but he wasn't expecting this.
Pisani gets far too much time and space to play this ball in, Rob. Dundee defenders asleep just a little bit. Not as much as Brisas though. That was a chance.
Dave Mackay to Gavin Waite. Shot on the ball. Kept it though, and gets it back from Nemzadze. Steve Lovell almost in. Nemzadze again, great skill, lovely ability, good service for Nacho Novo right on the byline. Didn't get enough contact. Lovell and Sara were waiting in the middle.
Nacho Novo does that so well. The early ball over the top, he's so quick, he tries to play in the last man. It's a tactic that could work for Dundee tonight.
Fabio Grosso, left side of midfield for Perugia, and wasn't picked up with Tedesco as he made his move into the penalty box. It wasn't a good header, but the marking was poor.
It's a terrible header, Rob. Luckily for Dundee, Tedesco does really well, coming from deep there, not picked up. If he gets it on target, it's a real chance.
Scored against Wolfsburg in the Intertoto final, Giovanni Tedesco. Experienced player, good pedigree in the top flight in Italy. Di Loreto, Zimaria. Giovanni Tedesco again. The back behind the ball. In for Brisas. Good save, Julian Speroni. And again, the threat of the big Greek striker is clear.
It comes from the wide area again, Rob. They've been dangerous down the right. This time it's down the left. Grossi plays in a great ball. And Brisas is very unlucky there. It's a good save. Let's watch it here. Last minute, the goalkeeper keeps his eye on it, holds the ball.
Good strength from Steve Lovell. Good recovery from Diamatene, and Di Loreto clears. Lemire to Tony Hernandez. Danny Smith running straight into Zimaria, still has possession. Steve Lovell hesitated, and then went Alioui to win it for Perugia. Fabio Grosso, who supplied the cross for the header from Brisas. Again, Brisas was the target, but that time the ball into the box falling between the two strikers. Man of the match telephone number is this: 09011 110 861. You could win a widescreen television if your selection of the top player tallies with Sandy's later, and the calls cost just 25 pence. Sounds like a good gamble to me. Georgi Nemzadze, fleet of foot. Offside is Steve Lovell.
Just goes a fraction too early, Steve Lovell. Good play from Nemzadze. He's so good at this type of pass, but if that's Novo normally stays onside.
Tell you what,
it's very, very tight, isn't it?
I don't think he's off.
The ball's actually played just a fraction over, and that pitch has stopped there. I think it might just have been a fraction off.
Di Loreto with Zimaria materialising alongside him. Using Grosso on the left side again. Doesn't come off this time.
I tell you, Rob, Dundee have got a slight problem, or a big problem maybe, in the wing back areas. Di Maria wide right and Grosso wide left are getting acres of space to play the ball into the box.
The shot from Fusani takes a deflection. It almost worked out for Vrizas. Mistake by Nzanti. Hands possession back to Perugia. Tedesco leaves it for Jose Maria. Thankfully Lee Wilkie didn't get a touch on that. It's gone behind for a goal kick. I think Sandy's concerns are echoed by Jim Duffy on the touchline.
Yeah, Jim Duffy and Sandy are obviously in the same wavelength. Jose Maria there, getting down the right side, they're overlapping. That's him just having a word now with Hernandez. Just watch the overlap, the width, they're getting sucked inside into the middle of Dundee, and he feels that Perugia getting round the flanks, just telling Hernandez to watch the runs of Jose Maria down the right side. Sandy, you know you have in this game, I'll give you that.
First time I've heard that one.
Only joking. I'm not sure if that's a compliment check.
Oh, that's true. Need to analyse that. Gatti with the long ball into the corner. Grosso. Lovely touch to get it under control. Quickly shut down by Gavin Ray. Grosso's throw. Vrizas got a touch. Tedesco. Fabio Grosso again. Good delivery. Margiotta was there. Dundee defending in numbers. Now Hernandez to come away with it. Smith to level. Heavy challenge. Free kick against Diomotene. And this time the free kick goes the other way. Foul on Di Loreto by Lovell.
Well, I tell you, Rob, in Scotland, that's a fair challenge. I think Steve Lovell's prepared to go for this. He gets lots on the ball there. Di Loreto certainly caught a little bit, but it could easily have been Steve Lovell. Back to the European referees again. They're always going to award the free kick against the aggressor.
18 minutes gone at Dens. 0-0. Di Loreto. Good defending from Lee Wilkie, but it's not clever from Gavin Ray. Offside. The flag went up very quickly against Margiotta, and there was some relief about this.
I tell you, Rob, I don't think he's offside when the ball's played. Hernandez is certainly playing him onside. Gavin Ray giving the ball away in a vital area of the pitch. You can't dribble round about your own 18-yard box.
Grosso, miscue on the header. Did it run down his arm? Dundee thought yes. The referee said no.
I thought that was a handball, I've got to say.
That was a foul by Sara. Massimo Margiotta lays it off to Jose Maria. Great trajectory on the ball in. Grosso's shot, didn't really capture it. Well, was it a handball at the other end?
It's well outside the box, but Alioui, I think, is coming in there. He certainly stops it with his hand, but the referee's too far away. That's why he doesn't award the free kick. But I tell you, Rob, Jim Duffy's got a problem. He's got to stop the wing backs getting delivery into the box, because the strikers look decent in the air and they're getting far too much time and space to pick the pass, pick the cross, and eventually they're causing problems.
Seems to me Juan Sara's not very involved at this stage.
He's not. He's playing off the front a little bit, but I think it's more the Dundee fullbacks that have to make a decision. Hernandez and Mackay, sorry, on the other side, yeah. They've got to make a decision. Do they push up a little bit to stop the cross? At this moment, they're not doing that.
Perugia with the bulk of the possession, as you see from that. Nemzadze to Lovell. That's an obstruction. No yellow card, but it is a free kick against Diomotene.
Yeah, it's a free kick. Lovell tries to take it for pace here. It's just obstruction as much as anything else. Diomotene take Lovell out of the game. But Steve Lovell's willing to have a go at people.
That's what you need, isn't it? That direct route taken by Lovell. And this looks nicely set up for Georgi Nemzadze.
Steve Lovell, a little cut in his head there. Good area for Nemzadze.
Yeah, Lovell's going to get patched up at the sidelines as Dundee prepare to take the set piece. Could be a big physical test of this Perugia defence, Steve Lovell. He's quick and he's strong, and as you see from that latest incident, he's very direct. That forces defenders to commit themselves, and the reward at this stage for Dundee is a free kick, and Georgie Mzadze must fancy the look of this.
Hopefully it's one from the training ground, Rob. We'll certainly get plenty of time now to discuss what they're doing.
Quick confab, Lee Wilkie having his say. Remains to be seen whether anyone was listening. It's Mzadze off the wall. Tedesco charging it down. Lee Wilkie still up, if Dundee can get the ball in. Gavin Ray plays it in. And you can see that that's a free kick surely for the Brisas challenge of Barry Smith. Yes, it is. I was going to say, you can see that if Dundee get the right sort of ammunition in, they can trouble this Perugia defence.
You can't let the Italians settle, Rob. That's the way they've got to go about it. They've got to press, they've got to be very aggressive at the right times and get decent balls into the box, because Lovell, when it eventually comes back on, will cause them problems.
Steve Lovell back on the pitch. Georgie Mzadze with a lovely ball through for Lovell. Hernandez. Juan Sara was almost there. He could have attacked that one.
You're right, Rob, he just didn't attack the ball.
Now from Novo. Out comes Kalach. Good take. The big Australian goalkeeper made that one his and quickly launches it downfield for Brisas.
The second one's an easy one for the goalkeeper, Rob, but the first one, Sara just did not attack the ball. Great ball from Hernandez.
Novo onside. And Kalach collects at the edge of the area. Good play from Juan Sara to win that back from Zimaria. Hernandez. Sara again, getting himself more involved, and then trips over the ball. Diamantini gives it back to Dundee. Lee Mayer to Dave Mackay. Hernandez screaming for it out at this left-hand side. He's got a bit of room if Dundee can get him into play. Mzadze instead tries to release Novo. Grosso clears. Good header won by Margiotta. And Ray did well against Brisas, but this was a chance for Sara. Great cross from Hernandez.
It's a magnificent ball from Hernandez. And watch Juan Sara, this does not really attack it at all. It's half-hearted. You've got to get across the front of the defender, throw your body at it, and it might just end up in the back of the net.
And with a good delivery like that, all it needs is a touch.
Yeah, well, we've seen the second delivery, Rob, from Novo. An easy one for the goalkeeper, but it just can't come for that first one.
And they lose it in the middle. Tedesco to Zimaria. Jota couldn't get a touch all the way through. Jota, who has replaced Jay Bothroyd, the former Coventry striker, up front with Bothroyd suspended. Novo was waiting for it, Diamantini wasn't. Here he is again. Jota's layoff to Tedesco. And Hernandez taking no chances, but he's sent it straight to Zimaria. Played in with a lot of pace. Dave Mackay heads it clear. Mzadze and Barry Smith combine to set up Sara. Mackay to Lovell. Back in for Wilkie. Now Mzadze. He's shown already he has the quality to break down the Perugian defence. What Dundee want to find is a finish. Hernandez wants it, now gets it. Not so hot this time, the ball in, but it might work out. Mackay's cross headed away by Diamantini. Mzadze to Ray. Dave Mackay lost it. Free kick against him.
That was poor play from Dave Mackay. Tried to play like a winger instead of a full-back that time. Didn't have the skill to get around the defender.
The Perugia coach, Serse Cosmi, he was coaching Arezzo in the 3rd division in Italy when he was given the Perugia job. Luciano Gauci, the president, is never predictable. He has sacked 15 managers in 8 years, so I don't think job security is a big word in the life of Serse Cosmi. In his 4th season, Cosmi is the Perugia coach, and with results like last weekend, well, he might get a couple of weeks longer in the job. The game's settled a bit, Sandy. How's it going tactically for Dundee?
Well, as long as Dundee stop the 2 wing-backs getting tossed into the box, Robin, I think the way to do that is the side of the pitch that the ball's on. If Di Maria's got the ball, Sterling Hernandez has got to be closer to him, and in fact try to take him the other way, as we've seen once or twice, and he's played good balls into the box for Dundee. So I think that's the secret to it. Attacking the wide areas rather than having to defend.
Hernandez down the line for Lovell. And a miscue from Steve Lovell. And I don't want to get negative, but I can't help mourning the absence here of Fabian Caballero.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. Where Juan Sara's playing, just off the front, Caballero is so effective in that position. Great body strength, taking the ball in, but you can't look at that now. He's not playing, that's the end of it.
He was sent off in the Intertoto Cup 2 years ago, 3-match ban, which meant the 2 games against Blasny, and unfortunately this one. He's back for the second leg in Umbria in 3 weeks' time. But Dundee need to get something here to take to Italy for the second leg. And when they break Perugia, they break quickly. And this man, Grosso, has supplied some pretty decent stuff from the left side. Gavin gets back to stop Vrisas this time. Jota's layoff. Played in by Grosso, while Tedesco needed another foot in height to get that one. Hernandez playing football inside his own penalty box. Not a good idea. Fabio Gatti. Given away by Grosso. Much to the relief of Hernandez, surely. That was an atrocious pass from inside his own penalty box. And Dundee have been guilty of faffing about a fair bit in and around their own box. Hernandez there, Nimzadze and Ray both earlier, just outside the area.
It's okay playing football, Rob, there's nothing wrong with that, but you've got to do it in the right areas of the pitch. And Jim Duffy will be most displeased at the actions of one or two of his players playing about his anything that box.
Strong play from Gavin Ray. Bertie Vokes in the stand will have been impressed with that. Juan Sara, not quite sure what he was going to do there, Sara. And any momentum Dundee had is lost. Jota's layoff, that's well won by Nimzadze, but Perugia keep it with Di Maria. Ray getting in about Margiotta as well, but Di Maria involved. Smith in the way. Well won Hernandez. Dundee looking for a bit more fluency in the midfield. That's poor again from Sara. Vrisas against Wilkie. Takes a tumble, the Greek striker, never any question of a penalty. He said hopefully.
No, it was never going to be a penalty, was it? The referee had a very good view of that. But Juan Sara giving the ball away again.
Giorgi Nimzadze, great run, good feet. Still going. Where's he going now, though?
I tell you, Rob, Steve Lovell didn't help him at all there. He killed the space through the middle, leaving Nimzadze absolutely nowhere to go. It's a poor run from Lovell.
Fabio Grosso to Di Maria. And that's running away and out, despite the best efforts of Jamal Alioli to get on the end of it, but Vrisas was looking for a penalty here, but surely no chance.
Nah, no chance, Rob. You watch it here. Lee Wilkie's really nowhere near him. He stumbles more than anything else. The referee had a very good view of that. But Dundee, Rob, when they get the ball in the middle area, especially in Nimzadze, and they drive at the Italians, they're looking really dangerous. But it's got to be better movement from Novo and Lovell. Again, it's back to Ahmad Caballero. We hate saying that when he's not here, he's not playing, but Zara so far just hasn't done it.
And at times it's looked, Sandy, as if no one is on the same wavelength as Nemzadzi.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
Better this time from Lovell. Through Smith to Hernandez. Now it needs Hernandez to take a little moment, use the ball cleverly. Nemzadzi through. Novo tries to get in when it hurts. Juan Sara. Well, that's a good challenge. It's a goal-saving challenge at the heart of the Perugia defence, as Sara looked as if he might open the scoring.
Juan Sara, we'll give him a little bit of stick, but he makes a great run here. He's very, very unfortunate. It's a great tackle.
Marjota's pass. Brisas goes in, bounces off Lee Wilkie. He'll do that more than once in the course of the match.
Lee Wilkie started the game well, Rob. So important. Dundee defend well.
Poor distribution though from Wilkie. After all the good work, he undoes it with a disappointing pass. Di Maria. That's a good recovery from Hernandez. Gatti to Grosso. Loads of room again to play in the cross. Fabio Grosso. It will be a continuing concern for Jim Duffy.
Rob, just when he played the cross in there, Dave McCann, who's playing right back, was in the centre-back position. I don't know if he's getting dragged in for whatever reason, or Wilkie may have pulled him in, but they're certainly short in that area of the pitch.
Marjota. That's a good challenge by Gavin Ray to stop Fabio Grosso. Nacho Novo not involved enough from a Dundee point of view. Not involved enough in the final third. Juan Sara certainly involved in the final third here.
He does well to get in the box here, Rob, but that's a great challenge. Defended to perfection. Alaouia.
Yeah, it was the young Frenchman, Jamal Alaouia, who timed that to perfection, because if he'd got it a fraction of a second wrong, it was penalty kick.
But it was better from Sara, Rob. He made the run from the middle of the park and caused problems coming in late.
That came off Barry Smith to Steve Lovell. Tried to work the opening, tried to turn inside, and he'll think now he should have got a crack at goal early.
They've been down too early, too easily. Villareto made a good interception, a good challenge for Perugia.
Nemzadzi to Novo, poor touch. Great service from midfield from Nemzadzi, and Novo couldn't match it.
Nemzadzi does that so well, so often. Plays the early pass for Novo's pace. His first touch there had been better, it was a chance.
Giovanni Tedesco. The boy from Brazil, Di Maria. Good ball in, Lee Wilkie stood firm with the header. And found Gavin Ray. Georgie Nemzadzi must be licking his lips at this sort of quality of football match to be involved in. This really should suit him, this should be his stage. And he certainly hasn't disappointed in the first half hour or so. Sara, lovely pass to Nacho Novo, and that's good goalkeeping, because Zeljko Kalac was very smartly off his line there, the Australian international.
For a big lad, he's very quick. I think Novo, I thought he was going to get to the ball first, but look at the distance the goalkeeper covers. That's great goalkeeping.
He was on the bench at Hampden when Australia beat Scotland 2-0 a few years back, Zeljko Kalac. And if you're wondering what Jorge Hernandez was doing there, so was I.
That's a pure header. Not under pressure at all. It's a lack of confidence header as much as anything else. Didn't play Saturday. It should be confident in the fact that Jim Duffy selected him tonight.
And Hernandez will hope that isn't a costly concession of a corner. The defender Di Loreto is up, Diamiteni as well. Grosso with the corner, takes it short, gets it back from Tedesco. That's a waste. That will do nicely from a Dundee point of view, and his deliveries have been of a pretty high standard.
They've been very good from the left hand side, and when the left-footed player goes down the right hand side in that type of position, the Storm is so hard to defend against that far too much weight in the ball.
It's a crucial role that Juan Sara's playing there, isn't it? And there are signs that he's beginning to find his touch.
Yeah, he is a good player, Rob, there's no question about that. He's an intelligent footballer. I think the fact that he's dropped him off has given Georgie Nemzadzi a bit of space to play as well. But Dundee, when they go forward, they don't have enough width. I think the fullbacks Mackay and Hernandez can provide that width, but one of them have got to go forward when they can.
Well, the possession back at 50-50 now. Perugia had a big advantage in terms of possession of the ball earlier on, but Dundee now have made it even Stevens. But, well, we say it week after week, it's not how much you've got, it's what you do with it. I think that's possession we were talking about, wasn't it? And on that note, Chick.
Yeah, Steve Lovell is the latest attraction for Jim Duffy to have won with. He's telling him to get around the outside. There was a little opportunity a couple of moments ago when he cut inside. He's just screaming at him to take the ball around the outside, and what a work rate Nacho Nova's having to put in here. He's taking it all from Jim Duffy. Get forward, get back and match the runs when the forwards when the Perugia defenders get forward.
Fabio Gatti, good play. Dave Mackay hesitated. That could have been serious. Grosso in. Dundee in a bit of disarray. And a useful effort as well from Gio Martini. Not a great problem for Julian Speroni, but Dundee not too clever at the back.
It's a mess at the back, Rob. There's a mix up there. Wilkie and Mackay, no communication whatsoever. And eventually Gio Martini has a shot from distance. Good play from the big defender. First to the ball. Takes a deflection, but Speroni gets well behind it.
Steve Lovell on route one, took a deflection off Di Loreto and spun back towards Kalach.
He's unlucky, Steve Lovell. Good commitment again going forward, but good defending as well. Very committed, Steve Lovell. Always wanting to have a go, great attitude. But one can say for Jim Duffy, it's got to be as well, Rob, the fact that they're taking so long to clear the ball from the back. Not getting put under a lot of pressure, but continually giving the ball away in bad areas.
Juan Sara wanted that from Jorge Hernandez, but it was given too much. Now with Gavin Ray trying to get beyond Grosso. Good ball in from Gavin Ray. Di Loreto is there, and Juan Sara has put that in the tee, I think.
It's at least Rosette, I'll tell you. But Di Loreto, it's a good header clear here from the sweeper. And Sara is put under pressure, but really taking the ball far too early. There's no way you can keep the ball down when you take it at such a high point.
I was just thinking I'd love Juan Sara to have the excuse to show us one of his many t-shirts tonight. Sure, he's got one for the occasion if he can stick a chance away. Still goalless, heading for half-time at Dens.
That's better, Rob, from Hernandez. Not allowing the full-back to go on the ball.
Level against Gio Martini. And good defending from the 20-year-old. Tedesco against Barry Smith. Dundee skipper comes out on top. Terrific work rate as ever from Smith. Grosso's cross, and Vrisas almost in again.
Again, it's that left-hand side, Rob. So much time and space. Look, you can look up there, Grosso. Pick the delivery, put the ball into a dangerous area. They're unlucky with Perugia not to win a corner kick there.
Are you surprised that hasn't been stamped out with 40 minutes nearly gone?
I keep watching Dave Mackay in the right back position. He's ended up chasing number 20, Fusani, and he's taken him in the field, leaving lots of space down that left-hand flank, and Gavin Ray's having to work from the middle out the way. I think it's something Jim has to look at. Try and split his defenders a little bit better across the middle of the park.
The pass from Hernandez, not a great problem for Grosso, and plays it off Sara and out for the Perugia throw. In the 40th minute at Dens, the first round of the UEFA Cup, Dundee against Perugia, live from BBC Scotland. Nothing cagey about this. There have been plenty of chances at either end.
It's been a good game. It's typical of games in Europe now, Rob. An away goal is so important. Perugia recognise that, and they're certainly not playing a defensive system tonight. They're working very hard, and they've got some good players. Dundee are not doing too badly.
Lee Mayer to Dave Mackay. Lee Wilkie, Juan Sara. Unlucky there, Gavin Ray stumbled on the ball. Marjota knows all about Lee Wilkie after this first half. That's Vrisas. Wilkie's header was a towering one. But it's still with Zimaria for Perugia. That's a great effort from Zimaria and a wonderful save from Julian Speroni, and yet again far too much room for the Brazilian.
There's a tremendous bend in the ball here, Rob. We've got a great view of this one. The ball bends before Speroni gets there. You'll see it from this angle. And watch the movement. Speroni's got to adjust at the last minute, but you're absolutely right. Time and space, again, to get the shot off and on target.
And this time it wasn't space for the cross, it was space for the shot, and that could have been very expensive heading for half-time. Good save, Julian Speroni. Di Maria with the corner, flicked on by Di Loreto. What a chance for Margiotta to break the deadlock. That's the best chance of the match so far.
It's a good corner kick, but it's a free header, Rob. Look at the blue jerseys round about the big striker there. Doesn't get picked up, doesn't get challenged. And Speroni's lucky being in the right place at the right time.
I think Dave Mackay was the marker there. Margiotta slipped a few yards away from it, and that was a real opportunity. If that had been at the other end, we would have been looking for 1-0 Dundee, I'm sure. Mackay to Ray. Still trying to keep possession, Ray, and Mzadzi to Smith. Lofted up from Mackay. And a team ending to that Dundee build-up.
Dundee really are not getting a lot of joy down the flanks, Rob. Dave Mackay's trying to play almost like a winger. I said that before, down the right-hand side, but really hasn't got the skill to do that. I wonder if a wee thought for Jim Duffy to play Nacho Novo wide right, play Sarah through the middle of the side level.
Wilkie's header. Well won by Di Maria. No added time thus far, so just 2.5 minutes left of the first half. Tedesco chasing. He may have wanted to let that go, but couldn't. Ray with Grosso at his back. It's a Dundee throw. Salah's overhead kick. Yui lets it run. Nacho Novo was almost in. He is now. Good play by Novo. Now Dundee have 3 against 3. Novo gets beyond Di Loreto. And the defender recovered well to stop the cross, with Dundee having 3 in the box waiting.
Good play from Nacho Novo, but I just wonder here about the run from Juan Zara. I thought he should have gone outside Novo, almost an overlap, but doesn't do that, runs into the middle, making it easier to defend against.
Lee Wilkie is a certain threat here. Mzadze's delivery. Headed away by Diomantini. Zizis Vrizans, Greek international who scored against Armenia in the Euro 2004 qualifier recently. The only goal of the game. Mzadze, Lovell, trying to link with Sara. Juan Sara scored 30 goals in his first 2 seasons at Dundee. Things haven't been plain sailing since. It looked like he was away, but now he's got a second chance. Wilkie watched that all the way.
Yeah, it's a
and he
free
was
kick,
being
Rob.
fouled as well, yep.
Margiotta jumped into big Lee Wilkie there just before the ball reached him.
That's for Sara. Lovell. And half-time at Dens. 0-0. Juan Sara has gone as close as anyone for Dundee to breaking the deadlock. Let's hear from Jim Duffy.
Jim, are you happy? Yeah, well, relatively happy. I mean, you can see they're a very good side check. The switch of play from left to right is exceptional. But we've got to take a little bit of a risk sometimes. We're at home, and we know that particularly the boy on the left's got a great left foot. We've had 2 or 3 good chances going forward. We've defended the crosses pretty well. But we have to decide whether are we going to stop the opposition or try and win the match. We're at home, we've got to take a little gamble, and that's the reason why we're allowing sometimes in possession.
Thanks, Jim.
Well, here's a chance for Juan Sara to open the scoring. It was a good effort from the Argentinian striker and a great goal-stopping challenge. Dundee haven't stopped Di Maria's crosses or that particular shot, which produced a spectacular save from Speroni. So, 0-0 halfway through.
Yes, and a pretty good 45 minutes of European football. What strikes me, Paul Gordon, is it's not really like a European tie at all, is it? It's almost like a league match.
It's like a domestic fixture, isn't it? And if you look at the Italians, usually when they play away from home, Dougie, they defend deep, get a lot of men behind the ball, very tight, very compact, and look to hit teams on the break. But they've certainly not done that. They've played very open, very positive, good offensive play, and in particular, the two wing-backs, Grosso on the left, Zimaria on the right, they've been hugely influential.
Yeah, but Dundee, I think, can be reasonably pleased with the first half efforts, Gordon, wouldn't you agree?
They will be. I think they might have anticipated that they would come at Perugia would come at them. They won in the last round. They actually won home and away against a good German side, Wolfsburg. So they won more convincingly away from home, actually 2-0. So they're always going to have a go, I think. But Dundee, I think, can be happy with it. They don't have a great European pedigree at the moment. It's a long time, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, since they played in Europe. But I think they've played pretty well. They've taken a few chances because, as Jim Duffy said at half-time, you've got to have a go, which means you've got to leave yourself open a little bit and accept the fact you might lose a goal. So, you know, the fact is they're attacking. It's been pretty open stuff, and there's been chances at both ends.
That's right, yeah. Some early half chances for Dundee, I suppose you could say. They started fairly brightly. Nothing particularly clear-cut, but indications that Dundee clearly were getting in about the Italians early on. And this was encouraging, wasn't it, Paul?
Yes, it certainly was. I mean, it was a good build-up play, wasn't it? And Nemzazi, clever little through ball there. Didn't really realise how much time he had Lovell to go on it. But they grew in stature, didn't they? Grew in self-belief. And once they'd got one opportunity, you know, they kept going. And, I mean, this was another good opportunity. Great angled little through ball there. And the keeper, Kalic, does extremely well. Yeah. But they're growing, aren't they? They're growing in self-belief. They're not in fear, and they're realising we can impose ourselves on the Perugia's rearguard, which they're doing to good effect.
All right, more from that first 45 minutes in a moment, but let's hear from a new Dundee signing who I'm sure would love to be out there tonight. Craig Burley is talking to Chick.
Craig, what have you made of your new teammates' first half performance?
I think they've done very well in the first half there. I've enjoyed the game, and I think we've had quite a bit of possession, and we've had one or two half chances there on the break. Natural Norway's pace up front is causing a few problems.
I know you're sitting beside another new teammate in Fabrizio Ravanelli, a spokesman for Ravanelli says. What's his thoughts?
I don't speak Italian. No, he's impressed with the way we're playing. I think we've tried to play from the back, we've tried to play football, and I think that's the proper way to do it. And you know, in midfield we've passed the ball. It's been against a stiff breeze out there, so this half we've got the breeze with us. I think you've seen Perugia had one or two pops at goal from 30, 40 yards, and we'll be looking to do the same, I hope.
You must be dying to get out there.
I am, but I wasn't registered for this round, and I'm just working on my fitness along with Fabrizio, and you know, things are looking up, and for the team and the squad here, and looking forward to working with the boys.
Be nice to get a second half goal, wouldn't it?
No, it'd be lovely, but it's an important thing to give yourself a chance in the second leg, but hopefully we'll go on and get a goal in the second half.
Cheers, Craig, thanks a lot.
Yes, Craig, Ravanelli desperate to see Dundee get through this round so they can get involved if they make it through. Let's go back to the first 45 minutes and goalless so far at Dens. The one Perugia player, Paul, that's really stood out though was Zé Maria, the Brazilian. He really is a big influence in the game.
Extremely talented, very, very good on the ball, good range in his diagonal balls across the pitch. I mean, that's been a feature of the game. Gordon and I sort of discussed it, that they do get the ball wide, and they do like to get it into the box very early. And I think Zé Maria doesn't have as much range to his game as Grosso, but they nevertheless get good quality into the box.
It's a good chance. Brizas wasn't ready there.
He should have done better, shouldn't he?
But what they did was they got on the ball a lot there. Because the way Dundee are playing, Zé Maria gets on the ball a lot. He doesn't run forward that much with it. He likes to switch the play, and it's the switch of play that's caused Dundee problem. The ball goes to Grosso and he puts in the ball. That was a poor header. But most of the time it was Zé Maria who was getting involved in the first half. I have to say though, he had a big influence at the very start, but Dundee at least pushed Hernandez as far as they could out into that area. Jim Duffy made it very clear this was a good chance and a good save.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done it extremely well down the left-hand side, haven't they, Grosso? I mean, he's got a bit more range to his game, but nevertheless, Zé Maria is extremely talented. I mean, that just emphasises that. I mean, I think the keeper does extremely well. I mean, there's a lot of movement in the ball, but you can see the way the keeper just adjusts his feet and elevates it over the bar. good save indeed.
That might just have been a result of the sort of breeze that Craig Burley was talking about there. We're not really, we're not really aware of it sitting here, are we?
Yeah, it's a windy
breeze,
night.
but it was a good shot though.
Yeah.
There was a bit of curl on it. But as I said, in the first half, in the early part, Dundee weren't getting to Di Maria at all. But as the first half wore on, they got to him as much as they could. And I think what they said was they sacrificed a little bit at the back by saying to Hernandez, you go out, as soon as he gets the ball, go and push out into that area. He won't run at you, Di Maria. We've already seen that. He wants to just play the ball and play passes. So they've contained it to a great degree. They've done pretty well, Dundee.
The problem is when he does switch it as quickly as that and Grosso's unmarked, you can't really push Mackay up too hard on Grosso either, or then you're really exposed with both your fullbacks pushing on.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's the point technically, tactically as well, isn't it?
Exactly, because if you've got a back four and all of a sudden your left back goes and forces a situation on one side, the right back on the other side has to tuck in.
Absolutely.
And that's when a switcher play puts you under pressure, because the guy who then picks it up wide. See, they've got a 5-man midfield. They're playing 3-5-2, whereas Dundee really have got 3 men in midfield.
Yeah, so that's where all the natural width is, isn't it? So it's very hard, isn't it? And what he won't want is 2 fullbacks sort of pushing forward at the same time, because all the space is behind them. So, but I think they've coped reasonably well. I mean, and also if you're going to allow them to cross, it's better they cross from deep rather than get to the byline and cross. So I sense that Duffy, he'll be pleased with, but they've got to sort of take a little bit of a gamble now, and I think the last 15-20 minutes have shown that they've grown in stature and self-belief, and that's been emphasised by 1 or 2 decent chances that they've had.
Dundee have whipped in some good crosses themselves as well, Gordon. And that looks maybe their best chance of getting a goal here, without Caballero to create things perhaps behind the front too.
I think they miss Caballero. I think that he, having a real influence in this game. But Namzadze's got on the ball for them. He's tried to make the play in the midfield. Good work rate from Smith and Ray in there, but Namzadze very much involved in this move here, and it was good play. Eventually they got it out wide. Lovell's tried to get in the box. It's a great cross. I think Sarah could have done better. He doesn't attack it. And when Sarah scored a lot of goals for Dundee, I don't think he's got his form yet at all. He's probably lacks match fitness, match practice, but I thought he could have done better there if he'd gone and attacked the ball.
Needed to be braver, really, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. When you see it when it's whipped in, Paul and I both said right away, he's got to attack the ball.
This is lovely skill from Namzadze.
He's very clever, isn't he?
Good build-up, actually, isn't it?
Absolutely.
A nice ball laid out for Hernandez and
good
quality of the cross.
Absolutely, and what you want is end product with that, don't you? But he doesn't quite. He lacks that little bit of conviction, doesn't he? You've got to say, go on, son, throw your head on it, just dive at it. And clearly he would have been in. But due credit to Dundee, you can see they're getting crosses from both sides of the pitch as well. And I sense that they can be very productive if they sustain that tempo.
Yeah. It is down that left-hand side again.
Yeah, they got forward. Hernandez went and joined in, and I say it was decent play, because they passed it about well, Dundee, and this was a good little touch for play, and Sarah again just gets taken away. But I always like to look for some sort of fact regarding the opposition, and what I've found regarding Perugia, Dougie, is that Perugia actually have scored all their goals this season in the first half of games.
Have they?
Yeah, so if you're Dundee...
That's encouragement, isn't it?
It must be encouraging. If you're Dundee...
I like this pattern, yeah.
So if they score in the second half, it goes against the trend. Perugia score all the goals in the first half. So if Dundee can just keep going now, and the main thing is they don't lose a goal tonight, but it'd be fantastic if they could get one too.
Yeah. I don't think they'll change much in the second half. Perugia presumably will continue to push. Dundee certainly will. It should be a good second 45. It's coming up live. But of course, let's not forget other big UEFA Cup tie taking place tonight at Tynecastle. Hearts up against Zalesnikar of Sarajevo. It was a 7:45 kick-off, so it's not long underway. Let's get an update from Paul Mitchell.
And it's Hearts 0, Zalesnikar 0. Hearts with the best of the early chances. They could have been ahead as early as the 29th second. Mark de Vries with a good header from a Stephen Boyack cross, but the Bosnian international goalkeeper managed to pull off the save. Hearts just had a penalty claim denied there when Stephen Boyack went down in the box. 3 minutes gone when Mark de Vries himself set up Dennis Wynas. Good shot from 20 yards. The goalkeeper managed to push it away. Hearts in the traditional 4-4-2 have rarely been troubled so far. Zalesnikar playing 4-5-1. They're certainly wanting to be very defensive, and they've been tight so far. And since that chance that Hearts had through Dennis Wynas in the 3rd minute, they've created very little. Zalesnikar very, very quick to come back. Mark de Vries is the man that Hearts are looking to provide the goals. He may well do so. But we've now played 12.5 minutes at Tynecastle. It's Hearts 0, NK Zalesnikar 0.
Thanks, Paul. We'll obviously keep you up to date with events at Tynecastle. We've heard from Craig Burley, but another of Dundee's new signings has just been introduced to the Dens. Fabrizio Ravanelli alongside Craig Burley, being acclaimed by the dark blue fans. They must be looking forward enormously to seeing these two really class players eventually taking their place in the dark blue side. Ravanelli and Burley looking forward to finally turning out for Dundee. Now let's take a look around Europe and UEFA Cup latest. Some of the matches, in fact, are only just underway. The Dundee kick-off was early, of course. Disappointment for Graham Souness and Blackburn Rovers, though. Slibilia 3, Blackburn Rovers 1. I did not badly with the pronunciation of that Turkish team, I thought, but that's a struggle for Blackburn, clearly, although they did get the away goal. No goals between Ljubljana and Liverpool. Dundee Perugia we know about, of course, and Hearts Zalesnikar as well. Manchester City Lokeren hasn't yet kicked off, and Gordon Strachan Southampton also goalless against Stoja Bucharest. So the only full-time so far, that defeat for Blackburn. 2 CIS Insurance Cup matches tonight taking place in Scotland. Dunfermline 0, Cowden Beath 0 on the new surface at East End Park. Bit of a Fife derby there. But Partick Thistle are a goal up at Peterhead. James Grady after just 2 minutes. Peterhead 0, Thistle 1. 1 goal tonight in the Carling Cup in England. Spurs, without a manager, 1-0 up at Highfield Road. Canuti getting the goal there in 13 minutes. Coventry 0, Spurs 1. All the other matches so far are goalless. That brings you up to date, which is what we like to do on a Saturday afternoon, of course, together with the first action from the SPL on Sports Scene Results. Goals flying in all around the country. All sorts of things going on at Ibrox.
Oh, what a finish by Tom McManus! It's football all the way on Sports Scene Results.
Sports Scene Results, 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon, includes highlights of all the afternoon's Bank of Scotland Premier League matches. Now, tonight, let's see whether you've been lucky in the lottery draw. We can give you tonight's numbers, and there they are. 11, 13, 28, 34, 37 and 45. The bonus ball 9, that's in the Lotto game. And Lotto Extra, it's 9, 16, 24, 42, 44 and 47. And in the Thunderball game, it's 2, 7, 13, 24 and 34 with number 5 as the extra ball. Those tonight's lottery numbers. And it's a bit of a lottery picking the man of the match, isn't it? But I wonder who you fancy. We've got a special prize on offer. If your choice agrees with Sandy Clark's tonight, we have a widescreen television for the winner of our man of the match competition. And the number to dial is 09011 0861. 09011 110861. A widescreen TV if you agree with Sandy Clark about this evening's man of the match. It's the UEFA Cup tie. It's Dundee 0, Perugia 0. And, well, I said, Paul, I didn't see the pattern of the game changing very much in the second half. Would you go along with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that Dundee try and raise the tempo a little bit. They're going to have to take a gamble at some stage, no question about that. But I do feel that Nemzadze has been very, very influential on the ball. He's a technically accomplished player. Sada, I do like, he's impressive, and Novo's got lots of pace. And I just sense that if they can get the ball wide and try and get behind the back of them, they might just get something from it. But I think they've got to keep tight at the back, because Perugia have shown, Vidas in particular up front, he does get a half a chance. He's capable. But at the moment, I think Duffy, he's got to be very, very pleased. And he'll be just saying to his teams, keep it tight at the back. Let's just work as hard, be competitive, be productive, get the ball wide and get it into the box and see what we can get from it.
It's always interesting as well, Gorman. You get a team playing 4-3-3 against one playing 3-5-2. Two very different formations, and neither is causing, or the Perugia formation is not giving Dundee too many problems, really. The extra 2 men in midfield is not
just the wide players were giving them trouble, but I think that what Dundee need to do is make sure that their 3 cause Perugia problems, because when you've got 3 at the back and you're up against 3, you actually have to go man for man at times, and they're doing that. And although they've got good defenders, Dundee have created chances, and I think that Sarah, who's got in a couple of times, could get a goal in this second half if he keeps trying to get into those sort of positions. I think Sarah could score.
Yeah, and Novo's trickery is always valuable. I've got a funny feeling Novo could be the man that creates something. Let's hope so in the second half. Team is just coming back out. Big night at Dens Park. Those Dundee fans thoroughly enjoying big-time European football after a long, long wait of 29 years. Goalless so far, though. Let's hope Dundee can get the breakthrough in the second half. Let's go back to Robin Sandy.
Yes, it's just like old times at Dens Park. Massive European tradition, Dundee, of course. When you look back and think back to a Dundee side in the 60s, which was twice in European semi-finals. And obviously for a lot of the younger Dundee fans now, European football a totally new concept. They know all about that from their father. But other than that, it's consigned to the history books. But Dundee have done well in the first half here against top quality opposition from the top flight in Italy. And you get the feeling there's more to come from Dundee. Well, we know there's more to come from Dundee because we know what they're capable of.
Both teams are having a go, trying to score a goal, Rob, and that's why it's a very open game. and I feel pretty certain we'll get a goal second half. Jim Duffy was absolutely right at half time. Do you sit back and defend, or do you try to win the match? And I'm sure Jim's wants these players at half time is let's keep going, let's try and get this vital first goal, and I'm sure right now we'd all settle for a 1-0 Dundee victory.
Jim Duffy telling us as the half-time whistle went that he prefers to ask some questions of Perugia rather than sit back and wait to see what they try to do and then try to counter that. And with Georgi Nemzadze at the helm, there's always going to be some ammunition for the strikers.
He's a very good player, Rob. He can open up defences. I think that Jim might be concerned just a little bit about the movement of Lovell and Novo in the first half. Nemzadze had great possession, attacking the Italian defenders, and really there wasn't enough options in front of him.
The two Lees have gone forwards, Mir and Wilkie. It was Juan Sara who got the header. Good movement from him, good awareness from him, but nobody taking on the second ball.
It was actually a decent header, Rob, from Sara. He realised he couldn't score from 20 yards out, just trying to play into the path of a teammate.
No changes in the teams. That's Dundee. And this is Perugia. Nacho Novo. Good challenge, Aliuli. Still Novo. Skimmed the top of the net on its way over.
That's good play from Nacho Novo. Alioli, the defender, does well here, but Novo gets to the ball first. Good strength. One thing in his mind again, that's a good turn inside the box. Trying to make the goalkeeper work. That gives the fans and his teammates a lift as well.
Hernandez for Sara. Thought he was pushed when the ball was in the air by Di Loreto, and the foul was given.
That was a free kick. Di Loreto just pushing it in the back of Juan Sara there. It's a set piece. I'd like to see Lee Wilkie, Lee Meir. Yeah, they're both up from the back.
What you want, you get. They're both up. Alongside Lovell and Novo and Sara. And from Nemzadze. What chance for Juan Sara. He's saying it, we're saying it. How did he miss?
Unbelievable, Rob. It's a great ball in from Nemzadze. He's got great pace on the ball. Lee Wilkie does well, takes the defenders away. Sara's a great run round the back, but really, you've got to hit the target. Too much time. It's a really bad miss. Does really well to stay onside. Oh, that's horrendous when you look at that. Just too casual.
Well, the Dundee fans know it. Juan Sara tends to miss the easy ones. Let's hope there's a difficult one coming his way soon.
But, you're early part of learning as a footballer, Rob. In that situation, you've got to header the ball down the way. Put it down into the corner, make the goalkeeper work. Hit the target, you're almost guaranteed to score there.
It looked like a lazy header to me.
Too much time, Rob. Lost concentration.
Brisas chasing. Brisas in. Great challenge, Lee Wilkie. And that saves Dundee going one behind.
It's poor defence to start with from Dundee, but good recovery from Wilkie.
Well, under the gaze of the Scotland manager, this was impressive from Wilkie.
Lee Meir takes his eye off the ball, Rob, but Wilkie does well covering for him, as he should do.
Gavin Ray. Dave Mackay. Nemzadze's pass, Grosso's header. Gatti wins it into Tedesco. Jose Maria. Good start to the second half from Dundee. But always the threat from Perugia. A bit like this. Onside, Brisas. And it was heading wide, but Julian Speroni saw the deflection and was immediately concerned.
The goalkeeper's quite right to go for this, Rob. It takes a deflection. And it's a hard one for the goalkeeper. He doesn't know it's going wide. Just making sure.
Yeah. And that's exactly where Perugia are most dangerous, isn't it? Dundee are attacking. They think they've got the game. They think the goal's coming. And then suddenly down the other end.
There's been chances at both ends.
Fabio Grosso takes the corner kick, gets it back from Jose Maria. In from Grosso. Di Loreto is there! Marco Di Loreto gives Perugia the lead 5 minutes into the second half.
Rob, it's a poor goal to lose. It's a short corner kick, same as the first half. It's not the best ball into the box. They're happy, they're not complaining. But Di Loreto gets 2 chances to have a go at this. It's not the best of balls. Watching, he gets a touch here. Then the Dundee players stand and watch him. He reacts first. Gavin Ray can't get there. Di Loreto does. And just gets enough on the ball to knock it over the goalkeeper and drops it in the top of the net. Julian Speroni absolutely no chance of saving that. Poor defending, you've got to say.
Di Loreto scored against Nantes in the Intertoto Cup on the way to this UEFA Cup. And he scored again a goal which silences Dens Park. There's a handful of Perugia fans in here, but the bulk of the crowd were stunned as that shot went over the top of Julian Speroni. Bit of luck attached to it in the way the chance fell to Di Loreto, but he got the shot in. Dundee couldn't get there quick enough to close him down.
We keep saying it, Rob, if you attack the ball in the box, get there first, you've got a chance. That's exactly what happened. He got lucky eventually, didn't know where it was going. He got it in the right direction.
Steve Lovell. Grosso. Sara to Ray. And ricochet and Perugia get it clear. That was a useful opportunity for Dundee.
Good play from Steve Lovell, the right hand side.
Majota. Offside against Brisas. But Dens Park still coming to terms with that Di Loreto goal, which was a stunner.
From Perugia's point of view, it's a very good goal, but Jim Duffy was an excellent defender himself, and a bit disappointed with that one, Rob. It's the fact that the defenders didn't attack the ball. It's important now, Rob, that the Dundee players keep their head up, they keep attacking, they keep trying to play football, create opportunities.
Lovely play from Giorgio Nemzati. Steve Lovell loses out in the challenge against Louis, and Lovell hurt.
That's a sore one for Steve Lovell. Good challenge from Louis. Steve Lovell does well. It's great play from Mzanzi. Switches the play so well. Again, Lovell having a go, but Aloui does really well to get back here. That's just a good 50-50 challenge. But Lovell's body's opened up, Rob. I think it's maybe his knee. He'll find a problem there, a twist in that area.
So a sore one for Steve Lovell.
Yes, his knee, Rob. It's just the way his legs opened up and the challenge is made, and it's bent back the way.
And a sore one for Sara as well with this miss. And this one will look even worse now that we know Dundee are 1 down. He didn't get over the header at all. He didn't get up off the ground, although maybe he didn't even need to do that. And, well, within a couple of moments, Sara was there at the other end, unable to get the ball clear. Gavin Ray as well. And Di Loreto prodded the ball over the top of Julian Speroni. And it's Dundee 0, Perugia 1.
When you look at that goal, Rob, and you look at the chance, just as we've seen there, the Sara opportunity, such a good... It's a real chance, well, whereas at the other end, it's opportunist from the defender more than anything else. It's a half chance.
Steve Lovell still hobbling. Decision to be taken on whether he's okay to go on. He wants back on, and he is back on. Majota. Wilkie onto the loose ball. Hernandez.
Lovell struggling, Rob. And watching Steve Lovell just recovering there down the right hand side for Dundee. He's under pressure.
Brisas. Grosso. Too much on the cross this time from Grosso, and I think Steve Lovell's match is over.
I think it's going to be over, Rob. This is a good challenge, nothing wrong with the challenge. Lovell's very brave, but his knees opened up there, when the challenge is made, and he won't recover from that one. That's a really painful one. That could be a few weeks out.
Yeah, what's happening down in the technical area now is Jim Duffy looks certain to have to replace Steve Lovell.
Yeah, he just had confirmation, Rob, that Lovell's finished. Just having a word with just a word or two with Ray Farningham just a moment ago. We've got the message across the pitch, and he'll get one of the subs round up. I'll tell you that in just a second.
Ten-man Dundee at the moment. And Dundee getting a replacement ready.
Interesting, Rob, just to see who they bring on. You look at the subs on the bench, there's not an obvious choice as a forward.
Gary Brady is going to be the player to come on, which will involve some sort of reshuffle. Good run from Gavin Ray, holding off the challenge of Gatti. Still Ray. Cross comes the goal scorer Di Loreto to clear.
This is great play from Gavin Ray, but Di Loreto, the goal scorer, he shows his class at the opposite end of the pitch. He's done this so often tonight, playing the sweeper role, tidying up any loose balls at the back. And that's great play from the Italian defender.
Kai's throw, looking for Sara, got his head to it. Di Loreto's there. Played away by Fusani. That's Wilkie. Clever touch, and Nacho Novo couldn't turn it in. And Novo and Sara got in each other's way.
That's another half chance. You see it there, Rob. It's pressure on the Perugia defenders inside the box. That's a good header. Great little flick on. Nacho Novo actually knocks it further away from the goal than it was to start with.
And as you've seen, Hearts have scored at Tynecastle against Željeznica. Mark de Vries. Hearts are 1 up. Gatti's pass. Now with Tedesco. Zimaria. And you saw from the reaction of the Italian team what that Di Loreto goal meant to them. It's now a tough job for Dundee. They work to score, they need to score, but they don't want to open themselves up to a second goal from Perugia.
Rob, it's tough just now because they're playing a man short.
It's a good effort, not a bad effort at all from Diomateni from long range.
It's an incredible shot again. It's almost 50 yards. It's on target and it's swerving, but Speroni kept his eye on the ball.
He's a few yards off his line, Julian Speroni, and just for a moment he judged it well. Mzadze to Hernandez. Novo picks himself up. It's 1 against 2 as well. Hernandez. Gavin Ray could do nothing with it. Brisas. And now Perugia on the move again. Grosso. The layoff from Margiotta. Gets it back again from Zimaria. In goes Tedesco. Couldn't keep it under the crossbar. That was a real opportunity for Perugia to make it 2.
It's good passing movement from Perugia, but Rob, we've got an extra man. I can't believe Dundee didn't move the ball out the park to allow the substitution, but Tedesco does well there. Tries to lob the goalkeeper. It's a great run. It's too much on the ball.
Gary Brady on. Steve Lovell off. And is it now more of a 4-4-2?
I think that's what Jim Duffy will do. He'll try to play his 2 wide midfield players as far up the park as possible. Try and get supply to the strikers.
Novo trying to link up with Brady. Mackay. Grosso's clearance. Lemaire's header. Gavin Ray, following Hernandez with a little bit of room on the far side. He certainly want to get Namzadze more and more involved here.
He's got to go on the ball. He's the one that can create the opportunities. But I'm watching Nacho Novo. He's struggling a little bit as well. He's hobbling about just now. Looks as if he's taking a knock somewhere.
Forced away by Aliwi. That's away from Brady. Barry Smith. Caught, waits by Gatti. The boot was left in. Dundee's free kick.
Certainly a late challenge. I think that goal, Rob, has taken the sting out of Dundee that little bit. Supporters now trying to get behind their team, trying to lift their team.
These European nights have been away for a long time. Dundee look to make the most of this one. Zanzi's delivery, Tedesco's header away. And as Jim Duffy told us pre-match, Tedesco, the skipper for Perugia, is absolutely everywhere. Good turn from Fusani. Mix up between Hernandez and Zanzi, but Lee Wilkie has it. Now Brady, that's far too close to Kalach. Well, he'll mop those up all night, the Australian goalkeeper.
Easy one for the goalkeeper, Rob. Just flighting in towards him. No chance of the forwards attacking the ball at half. A good skill from Lee Wilkie to start with. Thankfully for Dundee inside the Perugia half.
Yeah. Don't mind him doing it up there so much.
Yeah.
Gavin Ray's pass. Perfect for Nacho Novo. Lovely turn from Novo. And the cutback was heading for Gary Brady. Di Loreto cut out the danger.
Good play from Dundee. Nacho Novo does well here. There's not a lot of targets inside the box to hit. Takes the defender on, does really well. Good ball in the box.
Mzadzi having a look at what's on. Square of him is Barry Smith. Corey Hernandez. Barry Smith. In for Juan Sara. Ray. Brady. Does it get beyond Grosso? Was that deflected? Yes, it was. Corner kick.
Better from Gary Brady. Last time he got in that position, it's a poor ball straight to the goalkeeper.
If Noyes alone got you an equaliser, it would be 1-1 already. Needs to be a good one from Gary Brady. There's Lee Wilkie. And it's Nacho Novo who turns it in. It's 1-1 at Dens.
I'm not sure Novo gets a touch to this one, but I tell you what, the Dundee fans, they're not concerned. It's a good corner kick from Brady. Lee Wilkie does really well here. It's a great header. And Nacho Novo, I still don't know if he touches it or not, but he does enough to put the goalkeeper off. But that's the header that matters. Maybe the slightest of touches, but all that matters for Dundee is the ball's in the back of the net.
Lee Wilkie claims it, Nacho Novo claims it. Who cares? It's 1-1 at Dens, it's all square. Game on. And I think the prolific goal scorer that Novo is, he will find some way of persuading us that a hair in his head was dislodged as that one went in.
Jim Duffy won't be concerned. But that should give everyone a lift now, Rob.
Diamantini, that's Lee Mayer. Kusani. Visas, good turn away from Mayer. There's Hernandez, straight back to the Greek international, and it's well won by Gavin Ray. Just with a doctor ordered at Dens and still 25 minutes left. Tedesco, Brisas, holds off Mackay. Grosso, Gatti. mistake by Fabio Gatti. Sets up Barry Smith. Barry, you've got to take the ball with you.
That's a pure work from Barry Smith. Could have passed it to Jordan Mzadze.
Di Maria in. Good challenge by Lemire. Sarah lays it back to Hernandez. Well, you might say we're back where we started, but we're actually not back where we started, because the advantage still lies with Perugia and that away goal.
It does, Rob, but I tell you what, the next goal, forget one's going to be vital. Dundee, I'm sure, the type of players they have, Caballero will be back for the second leg. They'll be a strong team in Italy as well. It'll be much more comfortable for the Dundee team and their fans if they can get the next goal.
Aggressive play from Ray, in from Novo. Diamuteni heads it clear. Fusani hits the deck very theatrically before then picking himself back up. Gary Brady played his part in that equaliser. Nemzadze. Brady loses it to Di Loreto. Good pressure from Brady. Hernandez runs it out of play under pressure from Di Maria.
He's unlucky there, Hernandez. It'd have been easy just to make the tackle and slide the ball out. He tried to win the ball and keep it in play.
Gatti, Vrisas, Di Maria. In goes Fusani, header from Mackay, and composed was Gavin Ray outside the area. And a good pass as well, unlucky, it skidded away from Novo, but there was quality there from Ray, and there was quality about the Dundee equaliser as well. Jim Duffy ushering his team forward, looking for another goal. The powerful header from Lee Wilkie. Well, did Novo get a touch? Do we care? I don't think so, but it ended up in the back of the net. And that's really the first time Dundee have utilised the aerial prowess of Wilkie.
Yep, I think they nearly won the Juan Sara chance job in the second half. Lee Wilkie was an important factor in that one, the fact that he took defenders out the run of the ball. And I'm sure Jim Duffy's saying, let's try and get another set piece or two.
I wondered from one of those angles whether Novo did actually divert it in, Sandy.
I don't know if it does or not, Rob, but I tell you what, it didn't change the direction of the ball, but it does enough to put the goalkeeper off, and that's what matters. The goalkeeper would have saved it if Novo hadn't been there.
Well, it's brilliant play from Novo. The back heel to keep the ball in.
It's a free kick, Rob.
And a free kick right on the byline. That's great work by Dundee's top scorer.
Good play from Novo. Everyone in the Dundee team's got a boost from the goal, and Novo does really well here. That's the free kick. The little tug back. Assistant referee on the far side, you see the flag up right away. Another chance for Lee Wilkie maybe.
I think the goal scorer was booked during all of that. Di Loreto has been yellow carded. Perugia want to make a change. Fabio Grosso is going to be the player to come off, but not yet. Nemzadze's free kick. Well, didn't come off, and he's the first to acknowledge it. Tried to fire that in with a lot of pace, but it was too high.
I'm not sure, Rob, if he tries to score here. He makes an absolute mess of it, but he's certainly put everything into the shot. Acknowledging the other fact that he got it wrong.
After what Lee Wilkie's just done for the equaliser, do you not just place it on his head?
Of course you do. You play the ball into an area where Wilkie can attack the ball. The Italians can't handle it. I think he's tried to hit that with the outside of his right foot and try and bend it in.
Dundee won't be sorry to see the back of him. Fabio Grosso off. And his replacement, another Greek player on the pitch, Konstantinos Lumpoutis. He's a defender, so maybe a sign there that midfield player off, defender on. Perugia happy with 1-1. Novo is a threatening presence for Dundee, and he's unlucky, I think, not to win a free kick there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, Rob. I thought that was just a good challenge between two players. If you watch it here, the defender keeps his eye on the ball, gets across him.
I thought I pushed him over personally.
Yeah, well, there's maybe just an arm across him, Rob, but...
I know in your football language that's okay, but...
I don't think it was a free kick.
That's out from Hernandez. We're live at Easter Road at the weekend. Hibs against Celtic, Saturday lunchtime, 12:30 kickoff. On air from 10 past 12. Brisas. Di Maria lofts it up and over and safe.
Not the best of balls there from Di Maria. Haven't seen much of him second half. Jim Duffy's tactics, he certainly stopped him getting forward, stopped him getting on the ball and playing balls out in the box.
All this weekend's Premier League games, of course, are on Saturday, and you'll see the best of the rest. You'll see all the goals from Saturday on Sports Team Results. That's the place for your first chance to see Bank of Scotland Premier League action. And Hibs Celtic at Easter Road, the live match. Hibs having scored 9 last night against Montrose in the CIS Cup. Here it's Nacho Novo having a very big say in what's happening in the second half against Perugia.
Novo's getting a lot of joy down the right hand side, Rob. But support him when he gets there, he's got support inside the box.
Well, that's a great ball in from Novo. It was very well disguised. Di Loreto headed it away. And of course, any striker, when things start going well for him, the confidence grows and he tries even more. That's what Dundee hope from the former Red Rovers striker. Novo's cross. Hernandez in at the back post for the header. Corner kick.
Good play again down the right hand side from Nacho Novo. This is a good ball in, Rob. Hernandez does really well here. It makes up all the ground in towards the back post area from the left hand side, and it's a good challenge.
Well, the Dundee equaliser came from a Gary Brady corner. Let's hope it's take two. Wilkie waits. Brady finds him. The header down and sliced straight back out to Brady. That's a good header away from Diamantini. Mistake by Perugia. Oh, Georgian Mzadze had half of Dens Park willing him to strike the ball at goal there first time. Looked to beat another man. And it was the wrong decision. Novo is Perugia's worst nightmare at the moment.
He certainly played well, Nacho Novo. They just feel, Rob, whenever he just out in the middle, remember Dundee really only with two strikers now. The Novo plays wide. It's vital to get support into the box to back up Wanzara.
Let's remind ourselves of the man of the match telephone number, which is 09011 110 861. Well, it was 1-1 for Perugia against AC Milan at the weekend. It's 1-1 against Scottish Premier League Dundee at the moment. Dundee have their tails up. Can they get ahead in this two-leg tie? Second leg in 3 weeks' time. Nzanzi. Sara flicks it on. Di Maria, that's a dangerous header. Back into his own penalty box. Tedesco's pass finds Fusani. Good passing, good movement from Perugia. Well, I don't know if that was planned by Hernandez. I don't think that went according to script, but it was good enough.
They tried to knock out for a corner kick, though. Supporting now, Rob. Sorry, Rob. Supporting now. Dundee keep the pressure on. They've got to keep working hard. Don't let the Italians settle and control the ball, pass the ball, keep possession. But at the same time, you've got to concentrate at the back. a little help from the.
That was the sound of 10,000 people saying, "Georgie, man on." Mzanzi gets it back from Mackay. Delicate pass to Ray. Tried to slip it through for Dave Mackay. There was a real chance on there for Dundee.
Tell you what, it was great defending again from De Loreto.
Gatti to Tedesco. Di Maria. He produced that fine save from Speroni in the first half. Fabio Gatti again, the sitting midfield player. That's useful. Tedesco wide.
It's a half chance again, Rob's a good ball in. Left hand side, Tedesco gets in front of Hernandez here. That's not the best defending, and luckily for him the header's off target. It's a good delivery again, but this is pure defending. Hernandez is second to the ball. Tedesco's not the biggest in the world. He gets in front, he attacks the ball, and he's unlucky, the Italian.
Funny, Hernandez has got to attack that, hasn't he? Decent ball in though from Lumputis, the Greek substitute. Pressure from Ray on Fusani. Back with the Perugia goal scorer, Marco Di Loreto. Lumputis on the overlap. Good defending from Dave Mackay. And Gary Brady. Juan Sara. Zadze directing operations from the middle of the field. Lee Mayer and Lee Wilkie. Duffy reacting to the chants of his name from the crowd. Brady's cross. Ansara there. Time for Diamantini to get the ball away. In goes Novo and Hernandez. Not this time for Nacho Novo.
Rob, we spoke about Perugia before the game. They're a decent team, they pass the ball well, they have defended very well. The set pieces seem a little bit vulnerable there, but other than that they're a decent team, well organised.
Chick's listening to Jim Duffy.
Yeah, he's concerned at the moment, Zulu, about his midfield. He's wanting Brady and Nemzadze to make an important bite in the game at this stage, get the foot in the ball, just as they're doing at the moment, and he's really having to go to the midfield. This is the telling time for them, I think.
Nemzadze holding off the challenge of Risas.
I've just watched the Perugia, Rob. Every single player behind the ball at the moment, they'll be quite happy with a one each.
Yeah, I think the substitution was significant, wasn't it? Grosso, who was creating a lot for them, off, and replaced by Lumputis, who's pretty much left back.
Yeah, it's a winger. It's a full back for a winger, isn't it, really?
Dundee have to find ways of opening Perugia up, and at the same time having to beware when the Serie A team come forward like this. Jota, Lumputis, early ball in. Risas goes chasing. Hernandez there as well. Well, he had to play it, Johnny Hernandez. Good challenge, Barney Smith. The game's got a little bit cagier now, hasn't it? We're into that stage of the game where another goal could be crucial.
Well, Dundee, I've got a decision to make again. Jim Duffy, I'm sure, will make that decision. Does he really go for it in the last 10 minutes or so? Or does he settle for a one-each draw? The last thing he wants to do is lose another goal, which would make life very difficult in Italy. But at this moment, they've got to score at least one goal away from home if they don't get a second one here.
Are we talking Lee Wilkie up front?
No, I don't think it'll be quite as dramatic as that. But the one thing they need, Rob, is more wind. Novo's done it right hand side, he's now doing it left hand side, and he's the only one that's really provided any win for Dundee tonight.
Needs support as well, doesn't he? There's nobody really getting up to help him there.
I'm watching Juan Sara as well. Looks very tired in the striker position, Rob, and I'm looking at the Dundee bench. Caballero obviously suspended, as we said. they're short of a player to come in and maybe do a job for the last part of the game when defenders are tired.
Here is Sara. Keeping the ball up, looking to flick it into the box as Perugia want to make another change. Gatti. Numpodis on the overlap. Fortunate there, Barry Smith missed that cross completely. Brisas. Zimaria with a very delayed reaction to the challenge of Hernandez. It could be Hernandez's last involvement as well, because Tom Cowan is warming up.
Yoni Hernandez looks very tired though. He looks a little bit vulnerable defending at the back post. When the ball comes in from the left hand side from Perugia, he looks a little bit suspect there.
Di Mutene and Di Loreto both up, supplementing the Perugia strike force. Played in by Zimaria. Good header. Lee Wilkie took charge. Danger not over. Di Mutene pulls the ball back. Gavin Ray fires it clear. Eight and a half minutes left at Dens. That was a good challenge from Barry Smith. Full of grit and determination. Dundee need that in these closing stages. Mzadze with the chance to start something. Gavin Ray. Mzadze again. The ball wouldn't come with him. A lovely bit of skill.
It's happened before to Mzadze, Robbie. I don't know if it's the turf, the surface. He seems to stand in the ball occasionally. I was watching as Dundee went forward. They're tired now. Perugia still had 2 up, but Dundee had 5 behind the ball. Need 1 or 2 to support the front players a little bit quicker.
Fabio Gatti. Di Mutene. Di Loreto, whose goal produced the sounds of silence. Not so hot this time. That will do for Julian Speroni, who quickly launches it down to Juan Sara. Dundee are going to make a double substitution for the last few minutes. Mark Fotheringham is going to come on for Nacho Novo. Zimaria. Jota lining up for the shot. And it's Fusani who scores the goal for Perugia, which changes the whole complexion of this UEFA Cup tie. Dundee caught out.
Again, Rob, it's poor defending. There are lots of blue jerseys round about the edge of the box, but Fusani gets so much time and space. It looks like there's going to be a shot here just on the edge of the box, but it falls to Fusani. Dave Mackay's far too far in to protect his central defenders, leaving Fusani lots of space in that inside left area. It's a great execution, to be fair. Watch here, watch Dave Mackay as this ball comes forward. It's far too far in the way, leaving Fusani time and space to curl a shot over the goalkeeper.
Fusani had so much time to loft that one over the top of Julian Speroni, beaten again, and 6 minutes from time, Dundee 1, Perugia 2. Details of the Dundee double substitution. Perugia want to make a change of their own, waste some time. Brisas off, and Raimundo do Prado on. Brazilian striker for striker, but This is all about counting down the clock.
It's the right thing to do if you're the Italian coach, Rob. They have played well tonight, they're a decent team. He's now getting fresh legs on the pitch as well, which is the right thing.
Gatti to Zimaria. It's all gone very quiet. Doesn't sound like a full house at Dens. And the second Perugia goal having pretty much the same effect as the first, and that it's flattened the home support. And Dundee know how difficult it's going to be now. In 3 weeks' time in Italy, but still time for Dundee to create another chance or two.
I don't think Dundee have played badly. Jim Duffy will be disappointed, Rob, in the defending aspect of his team tonight. 2 poor goals, 2 cheap goals to give away. That'll be the annoying factor. And they have created 1 or 2 chances, especially for Juan Zara. And how important was that header that he missed?
Dundee have to lift themselves for one final effort, but it's Del Prado on the ball. Gives it away to Gavin Ray. Ray was fouled by Gatti. Dundee looking for advantage. Anyway, back here for Dundee, Sandy?
Yeah, got to stick the ball in the back of the net a couple of times in the last 5 minutes, Rob.
Right,
but,
okay. Simple as that, is it?
But I really can't see it happening. The 3 central defenders for Perugia are of an excellent standard. The biggest letdown has certainly been at set pieces, and Dundee really at this moment can't get too far up the park. I think their confidence is down as well. It's going to be a hard one to get back in it.
Smith for Sara. Di Loreto doing the defending. Lumputis. Jota. Zimaria to Tedesco. And at this stage, Perugia happy just to keep the ball, push it around, make Dundee chase, and keep what they've got, which is a 2-1 advantage at the moment away from home, which will do them nicely. 3 minutes to be added is the good news for Dundee, which makes it 5.5 left. But it's Perugia on the attack with Del Prado. Good interception from Lemire. Dundee looking a very tired team.
Yeah, Rob, you're right. Juan Sara's the only one upfield at this moment in time. Jim Duffy's trying as hard as he can to try to get support to get his players up the park. But you're right, there's a lot of tired legs there. They've worked hard.
Fotheringham fails to find a way through. Zimaria. It's frustrating for Dundee. It's offside against Margiotta. Man of the match, Andy?
There's been 1 or 2 contenders, Rob. I think Lee Wilkie's played very well tonight. Certainly involved in the goal, but his defence have lost 2 goals, so that's not the best for them. But Nacho Novo got a touch in the ball, I think, in the way in. He'll certainly say he did. But after that, he was the one that looked as if he was causing problems in the wide areas. A real problem for the Perugia defender, so he's my man of the match tonight.
They've had a good second half, Dundee, but that was some sucker punch from Fusani. And how often does that happen in the European game?
Now, Rob, when you're playing at this level of football, you have to defend well, you have to concentrate. You've got to say Dundee failed miserably defending twice, and the Juan Sara chance just after half time. That was certainly vital, to say the least.
In the 90th minute at Dens, Dundee 1, Perugia 2. Mackay's throw, looking for Sara. Dave Mackay with another chance to get the ball in. It was Tom Cowan with the late run at the back post, scored a cracker on Saturday, and he could have done with this one hitting the net as well.
Again, Rob, it's a cross high ball into the box. It's the worst part of the Perugia defenders' game. They're not too great in the air, And Tam County does really well to get a crossing defender there, but just can't get it on target.
Wilkie against Doprodo. Good defending from Wilkie. Try shifting him off the ball. Free kick for Perugia. Time frittering away here. Got a bang on the head of Gavin Ray, although he might well have his head in his hands as well, because Dundee will feel they deserved more from this. And it's all slipping away, you feel, Sandy?
Yeah, it's really Dundee. I don't think they've got too much hope now in this game, Rob. But if they could get an equaliser, if they can keep working away for the last couple of minutes, maybe get a set piece again, get the big lads up. There's no question that's been the biggest opportunity.
But I don't think it's any way over for the second leg. I mean, Dundee can play a lot better than this.
Yeah, you know, we say about Fabian Caballero, he's so important to the Dundee team, especially at this level of football.
We've added a minute already, 2 to go. 2 minutes between Dundee and a 2-1 first leg defeat. Can they come up with a late answer? Not like that. Mzadze has tried everything. He's pulled the strings in midfield. Mackay probing at the Perugia defence. And Gary Brady against Lumputis. And that's a good skill. Not a good ball in though.
Just the final pass tonight from Mzadze. Hasn't been far away.
Mackay, that's a handball. Advantage being played presumably. And Dave Mackay loses it at the edge of the area. I think Dundee would have much preferred a free kick there.
Yeah, there's no question about that, Rob. Mackay became a very tired effort from him. Substitution.
And another substitution from Perugia will just about finish this match, which is exactly what they want to do. And I don't think he's going to break the land speed record heading off, I wouldn't imagine. Massimo Margiotta. And if it's possible to jog backwards, he's doing it. Yep, he's made it. Emanuele Berrettoni is the substitute, and he'll be lucky to touch the ball. Lemire for Juan Sara. There's Di Maria and Tedesco. Could be a chance for the young substitute Berrettoni. It's a good effort too. Well, that's not a bad first touch, is it?
Well, you said he wouldn't get a touch, but that was a good one. Good effort, good save.
He's heading for Sara from Ray. Cowan's up and under. Sara's there, and Gavin Ray couldn't keep the shot down, and he doesn't want to look.
Again, it's a half chance from a high ball into the box. Gavin Ray picking up the loose ball on the edge of the box, but completely makes a hash of that. Takes his eye off it, slices it.
Well, that's tiredness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more than anything else, but that's when you've got to concentrate, Rob, when you're tired.
Full time at Dens Park, and Dundee have lost by 2 goals to 1. Nacho Novo gave Dundee hope as he diverted in, or thought he did, Lee Wilkie's header. That made it 1-1 after Di Loreto had opened the scoring for Perugia. But it was Max Fusani whose goal makes all the difference for Perugia heading into the return in Italy in 3 weeks' time. Let's hear from Jim Duffy.
Jim, it was a brave performance, but Dundee just a killer blow in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we got ourselves back in here. The first goal was a bit of a fluke and we didn't pick up sharp enough at a corner, which I'm disappointed about. Second one was classic counter-attack. We didn't just fill the space. But I've got to be really proud of the players. They gave everything. I mean, one or two of them absolutely shattered. And all you can ask for is your players to give 100%. I think we got that tonight.
It's a hard shift in 3 weeks' time, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be a hard shift. But you know, one goal behind, Chick, you know they might get a little bit complacent. And I still think, you know, we're still in the tie. Albeit we know it's going to be extremely difficult.
Fabian Caballero back, that'll be a bonus, Jimmy.
Yeah, Caballero will be back, and you know, we may have one or two other ones as well. But tonight it's about tonight's performance. I thought the boy was tremendous against a top-class side. And I think it was a fantastic game of football. Disappointed we didn't get a result, but it was an education for us tonight, and I think we'll learn from it.
Thanks very much, Jim.
Cheers, Jim.
So a disappointing end to a very enjoyable UEFA Cup tie. It's not over yet. Let's get the reaction then from Paul and Gordon. And well, it's a night of if-onlys, I suppose, Gordon, isn't it? If only Juan Sara had scored with a free header, really, just a couple of minutes into the second half.
Yeah, and it could have made me look good for a change as well if he'd only stuck that away, because I tipped he might score a goal, and what a chance. Not got a better chance than that. It's the best chance of the match. You know, even oversees the goals, that chance, but what a bad miss. But then they lost. This is a bad goal. I think they lost bad goals, Dundee. I've got to say, a bit of fortune to this one, but it's not good marking.
No, you can't let the centre half come up and basically get a shot in like that, Paul.
Absolutely.
Really, can you?
I mean, you've got to close him down, just throw your body in it and attack it. But I'll tell you, what a fantastic header that was. I'm not sure that Novo got the touch, but he was left unmarked. Strangely enough, Perugia had nobody on the post, but Wilkie gets in front of his marker. That's a tremendous header. I think it goes all the way, and I'm crediting him that goal.
Yeah.
But they deserve that, because I'll tell you what, they work their socks off, and fatigue setting a little bit later, but that's a bad goal. Yeah. Bad defending, I've got to be honest with you and say, you've got to look at the position of Mackay. Just slightly gets drawn to the ball, doesn't really mark his opposite number.
It's a good finish from Fuzani. I'll give him credit for that, but the back players got themselves in the wrong position there, and it broke, because he did the right thing initially, Dave Mackay. He went in,
but he's got to come back out again.
Yeah, exactly. Fuzani was going in, and as Fuzani just changed, reverted his position, did what a good player would do, and peel away to the space, and Dave Mackay took his eye off it. He was ball watching.
Yeah, but over the piece, very creditable performance by Dundee. 2 away goals, a 1-goal lead. You think Perugia are warm favourites, Paul, but you see a lot of Italian football. Will they perhaps think the tie's won at this stage?
Well, they'd be a fool if complacency sets in, because clearly Dundee will go there with a very spirited attitude. I think the manager will tell them, you know, they can go and get something from the game, and you just sense that if complacency is going to creep in, then obviously Perugia are going to make a serious mistake. But I think there's a lot still to play for. I think they've got to be tighter defensively, but I think Novo going forward, and Nemzadze was outstanding on the ball. They hurt them. They hurt Perugia. They put in some good, decent balls into the box, which I and Gordon said would be productive, and they got a lot of joy from it. So I think there's room for optimism there.
Yeah, it's just defensive mistakes, which can happen in any game.
Jim Duffy will be delighted. I mean, that is Perugia is a side from Serie A in Italy, a good side. They drew in Milan at the weekend. Dundee came very close to getting a result against them. They worked really hard. They weren't at full strength with Caballero not being there. So just a pity they couldn't have Burley and Ravanelli as well. But you know, they're available for the next round. But I still think that Dundee are not quite out of it yet. But it's going to be hard for them to go through now.
Yeah, and Noble man of the match? I
think so. Yeah, I agree with Sandy in that one. Yeah.
All right. So, Nacho Novo, the man of the match, but Dundee go down to a 2-1 defeat. How disappointing it is. Sam MacDonald from Dundee is our man of the match competition winner. Widescreen TV for you, Sam, and let's hope that you get a chance to see Dundee in the next round of the UEFA Cup. Before we leave you, let's just round up tonight's other major results around the country. Very few of them are full-times, of course, starting in the UEFA Cup. There we are. There's that earlier disappointment for Ginsler for beating Blackburn Rovers 3-1. Liverpool are now 1-1 with Ljubljana. That was a Michael Owen goal. Newcastle United comfortably 2-0 up on NAC Breda of Holland. 2 goals from Craig Bellamy. Hearts happily leading Zalesnikar 1-0. Mark de Vries. Manchester City losing at home to Lokeren. Kevin Phillips has just scored for Southampton. They're 1-1 with Steaua Bucharest. Before we go we must mention those 2 CIS Cup matches. Dunfermline now 2-0 up in Cowdenbeath. Stevie Crawford and Craig Brewster, but Peter Header holding Partick Thistle. Stuart Mackay equalising after James Grady had put Partick Thistle in front. And in the Carling Cup, there's the scores there, and it doesn't look as if there's going to be upsets there, apart from perhaps that Leeds-Swindon match. Radio Scotland have commentary on the Hearts match till 10. From the 3 of us, bye for now.